What's up, board game people? You know what I like more than board games? Board games I can get at a freaking outrageous deal. Of course, they need to be great games or that outrageous deal is really a dud. Well, I think 20 Strong from Chip Theory Games might just fit the bill. It looks great, it's a primo deal, and in the end it promotes me playing with myself. Okay, yeah, that was a step too far. We really should just get this started. I don't get any money from game companies for making my videos. So yes, what I meant to say is that 20 Strong is the new solo episodic game from Chip Theory Games that will see you exploring the universes of their past games, and all new ones such as the one that comes in the core Solar Sentinels box. 20 Strong is a new solo game system of dice rolling and upgrading, strategy and resource management. It is short play as well, so the typical game will only last 30 to 40 minutes. Each new box or expansion comes with a deck of its own, which will have you exploring past worlds that perhaps you've already visited in CTG's earlier games and want a new way to enjoy that universe. Or maybe this is your first foray into CTG games. Either way, with 20 Strong, you'll have plenty of unique and challenging worlds to explore. They've started out with 3 boxes or decks. The first is Solar Sentinels. In Solar Sentinels, your hero is the last bastion of hope against a deadly alien invasion that threatens their planet. Each round, you'll select an opponent and deploy units to eviscerate it. The battle continues at a hectic pace until ultimately you find yourself facing off against the alien leaders at the source of the invasion. Solar Sentinels, at its core, is a dice chucker, where you're trying to roll a certain number of successes from your pool of 17 hit dice to take down opponents before they deplete your health pool. The second deck is based on the Too Many Bones universe and is a bite-sized adventure. Here you'll be throwing those dice and saving up misses as a secret backup plan. You'll be able to pick and choose your tyrant opponents, but each one that you skip will make your final tyrant even harder. Finally, we have the Hoplomachus Victorum deck. Here you'll pick an iconic hero to do battle against the others in Primus battles. If you emerge the victor, you will be favored by the gods to take on one of Pluto's fearsome scions. This is a dice upgrading game with a limited pool of dice. Each deck of 20 Strong will play a bit differently, and multiple characters seem to be available for each deck. The replayability here is high, and with the time commitment low, I can certainly see getting through many of the heroes for each deck. That isn't the end of it though. They'll be adding more decks to the game as time passes. 2023 should see another set of decks coming our way. Perhaps we'll get some Burn Cycle love soon? Okay, so that's a slight introduction to the game. Let's take a look at the pledge levels. There are really only 3 pledge levels available, and 2 that will interest most backers. I'll stick to those 2. The other is a retail pledge. Starting at $30, you can buy into the game and get only what you need to play and the Solar Sentinels deck. Then at $65, you get the 20 Strong All-In pledge, with the core game box, the Solar Sentinels deck, Too Many Bones deck, and the Victorum expansion. This comes with a slight $5 discount. So $65 is a pretty good deal for an all-in, but it gets better, just wait. As for add-ons, at this time, there really aren't any. You can choose to add on a second pledge to your order using add-ons though. The project's stretch goals have a healthy dose of upgrades available for the game. Of note are upgrades to the all-in storage box, metallic inks for all the different decks, more baddies and more heroes for most decks, and even a single chip to make this truly a Chip Theory game. Let's see that shipping. Well, I told you this deal got sweeter, right? Well, here it is. One-time offer, take it or leave it. 20 Strong will ship to backers free. The pledge manager will be limited to only 20 Strong, and not the rest of their product catalog as usual. Shipping won't add a dime to the cost. Don't believe it? That's fine. The project is a member of the Stable Pledge program. If shipping were to increase 10% or the cost of the game goes up by 10%, you're automatically eligible for a full refund. So if shipping were to, say, go up a penny, that would be way more than a 10% increase, and bam, you get that refund. So let's talk my thoughts on all this. I was going to ignore this one. I actually thought it was more of a card game, and I guess I just played too much Magic back in middle school and burnt myself completely out on most non-co-op card games. I was wrong though, and I'm glad I took that second look. I've been on a solo experience kick, and this is definitely a solo game. I like the consistently high bar that CTG sets for quality. some moldy boxes aside, and I've slowly been starting a collection of their games. I have Burn Cycle on the way, along with a copy of the core for Too Many Bones, and the special limited time hero that they did a little while back. So, grabbing a game that could possibly be a primer to all of these universes really appeals to me. This is a price I really feel you just can't miss. Finding true deals on crowdfunding these days is rare, and when you have a game coming in at around $20 in expansion, and shipping is absolutely free, you have to at least take a closer look. The gameplay may be a bit light. It looks engaging enough to hold my interest and attention, but I worry that it might not be crunchy enough. Again, this is such a good deal that if it isn't for me, I can just move it along for what I put into it in probably a week or less. CTG games have a history of holding their value. Secondary market prices usually match initial pledge costs, and they sell like hotcakes here locally. I also love that this is a project that will be easy to continue to support for many years to come. They simply publish new decks, perhaps add a few components, and they could easily push 3 or 6 decks out a year. I think for CTG this is smart. It's a gateway to their worlds and IPs, and solo games are gaining popularity by the week. I imagine this will be a quick project for them to provide a much needed bump. To sum it all up, this is an easy back. If you think you might like it, I'd absolutely say go for it. If you don't like solo games or you don't like dice management, that might be a total killer for you, but who knows what other mechanics we'll see pop into the future decks. Worst case scenario, you should be able to resell this very easy. Well, this one was a short and sweet one. A good game full of great IPs, and a low price equals a no-brainer for me. We still have more coming this week. I am determined to get caught up and I have a fire lit under me. So next up should be a campaign guide for Destiny's Witchwood, also here on Gamefound. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing so you don't miss anything, and so we can grow our community. If you want to chat about board games, hop on our Discord linked in the video description. Thanks to everyone watching and commenting. Stand strong, Sentinels. This is only the beginning.